Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good day, everyone. So, today we are going to look at the topic making inferences and drawing conclusions. Now, these are the learning outcomes. You will learn how to infer a statement, and you will also learn how to draw a conclusion. Now, before we start, let us ask this question: what is basically an inference? Now, in writing, most of the time, a writer will portray his or her messages clearly. They are often stated in the writing. For example, if I want to talk about the benefits of jogging, then I will just write down what are the benefits of jogging. Simple as that. However, undeniably, there are instances where the writers will state his messages, thoughts, or opinions indirectly. And normally, these messages are not stated clearly or directly in the writing. We will, if let's say you read something written by a writer, and you can understand the underlying meaning. Okay, that means the meaning behind whatever that has been written. That is what we consider as inferential writing, where you include something that is not stated but is still conveyed to the audience or to the readers. So in other words, making inference is understanding the underlying meanings, or to read between the lines, or to understand the indirect meanings. Simple as that. Okay, for example, yeah, what can you infer from the following cartoon strip? Now, this is the cartoon strip. First picture or first image, Garfield is yawning. And then Garfield says 2 and 3. Then Garfield yawns again. And then, of course, his owner said that this is Garfield workout. So this is basically what is given to you. So whatever that is given to you, this is something stated. But if I ask you what you can infer this cartoon strip, you need to go beyond than what is stated and go a little bit further in so that you can get what is the underlying message. Now, if you have in mind Garfield is lazy, I guess you are on the right track. And bear in mind, when it comes to inferential question or drawing conclusion question, the answer can be subjective because there are more than one way at looking or inferring or drawing a conclusion. So how do we infer a statement? There are three things that make an inference a convincing inference. Number one, incoming information plus your existing knowledge, then you have your inference. Let us look at the example. Ali wants to be a politician. He studied economics in Harvard and a volunteer at Peace Corps. So this is the information that you have with you. You have the character Ali. You know what he wants to be, a politician. You know that he studied economics in Harvard, and he is also a volunteer at Peace Corps. So Peace Corps is basically a corporation that do voluntary activities. So this is your incoming information. Plus existing knowledge, what you have in your mind pertaining to this issue or this information. You know that Harvard is a world ranking university. You know that Peace Corps is an organization that helps homeless people, for example. So that's what you have in mind, your existing knowledge. So you combine these two in order for you to infer on the piece of information that you have just obtained. So what would be your inference? Ali is a smart person, acceptable. Ali is a kind-hearted person, acceptable. Okay, Ali no, loves to do voluntary activities, acceptable. So as I mentioned to you just now, inferential answers or your inferences can be varied, but not to say that all answers are acceptable. It has to be a combination of these two. So this is some in-class activity that you can do on your own, yeah? Try to infer this. So let us move on to what is a conclusion. Now, a conclusion is a decision or an opinion or a judgment reached after thoughtful consideration of material you have read. So in other words, a conclusion is where you decide the outcome of an information based on the material provided. So a conclusion is different from an inference. In what way? The process of making inference does not involve any form of judgment. So if you look at what I've mentioned just now, it's just based on your existing, sorry, and the information that you have with you plus your existing knowledge equals to inference. Now let us look at this example first before we move on to conclusion. Yeah. Now please look at this picture and tell me what is the conclusion that you can draw. If you say that the politician talks rubbish, or whatever that the politician promises, all those promises can go down to the drain, or politician cannot be trusted, you are on the right track. But I'm not saying that is the right answer, but you are on the right track. So how do we draw a conclusion? There are three things. You need that information, similar to inference, but this time around, you need existing knowledge and plus judgment. So you need the combination of these two. Inference does not involve judgment. Conclusion, it does involve judgment. And therefore, you'll have your conclusion. So let us look at the example again. So you have this as your information just now. So that is your incoming information. Harvard is a world-class, world-ranking university. Peace Corps is an organization that helps homeless people. This is basically our existing knowledge and judgment, and therefore Ali will be a good politician. So Ali will be a good politician is your conclusion, because in this conclusion you have included a little bit of judgment, because you say that he will be a good politician. That good means a criteria of judgment. So in class exercise number 1 that you can do on your own, and in class exercise number 2.